and welcome back to PÖFF TV. My name is Päike Triinu Tamm and we are right in the heart of Black Nights Film Festival 2024. Today I have here in the studio with me a Czech director, producer and also an actor whose films have achieved both critical acclaim and commercial success. So let's welcome in the studio Victor Tauš, who is going to talk about his film Girl America. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I've arrived at 4 a.m. with 35 children in the delegation, and I'm amazing.
Okay, it's good to hear. Is it your first time in the festival? Or
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Okay, I hope you have a pleasant experience, and maybe we can see you back next year also.
Yeah, well, I'm totally in love with the architecture of the city.
Oh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, it's good to hear. Then we are almost happy already.
You do.
Okay, but for the starters, maybe you can, in your own words, tell me, was there a personal experience or event that prompted the creation of Girl America? Maybe you could start with what is the story about, and then how did it come to you?
Well, it's a story about the girl abandoned by her mother, who, thanks to her strong belief in the existence of father somewhere pretty far away in America, in her case, manages to overcome everything that life throws in her way. So it's a story. It's our Czech Mowgli or Oliver Twist or Matilda of Roald Dahl. It's an amazing child heroine for an adult audience. And she had been my hero for over 25 years. I've met the real woman shortly after Velvet Revolution in Czechoslovakia back then, and we were both living homeless back then, because the whole first generation of people without home in Czechoslovakia after Velvet Revolution were children coming from orphanages. Mm-hmm. Actually, so there were like tens of thousands of them, and so we were living amongst them with the Girl America, and she told me her story, and it was so powerful to me that I actually realized there is no reason for me to stay living in the streets anymore, and and so I left it. I left the streets, and since then I've been trying to find a way how to tell this story. Mm-hmm. And it's been, I told you, it's been 25 years, you know, and the first 15 years, it took me to understand what the story is really about, because you know the real persons, so the real life story isn't a work of art yet. It's just, you know, consequence of events, and only when you decide what to tell the story about, that's when the art form comes out of it, and it took me pretty long. I had to mature through this story myself, mm-hmm. and then I decided to stage it in a theater first, and it was quite a journey, because the COVID came in the middle of it, and I saw it as a wonderful opportunity, because there was no reason to play it only in theater at that moment, mm-hmm. and so I started to film it as a live cinematic events. And till this day, the theater play was seen by over 110,000 people in Czech Republic, and then finally came the time to make the film.
Mm-hmm. Okay, as you mentioned, making a film, it's not an easy job. There are many fields you have to cover, many things you have to pay attention to. So what was the biggest challenge with making Girl America?
It was just a joy. Well, at some moment it was very I wouldn't say challenging, but it was important to realize that really the only thing that is important to me is telling this specific story. And not to care about how do I think I would want to tell it, which is a paradox because now the play and the film is known because of its visual form, but that emerged from just adapting to the reality of the audiences I've been telling the story to. You know, as I mentioned, the COVID case, you know, so suddenly from theater there was a live cinematic event, and I was staging the play in 13 very different versions, in very different worlds, so to say, surroundings, and I slowly realized how amazing emotional impact it has on the audience to when I tell the story in different setting. The same, let's say the same scene in very different settings creates very different emotions. And so with my production designer, Jan Kadlet, who is also an amazing artist himself, we started to create this we started to think about the film not as a historical piece as we usually see them, but as a history of emotions of those children. And so that's how we started to create this the whole visual style of the film.
Okay, you mentioned children. There are many children in your movie, so...
Yeah, 300.
Many children, but also other actors. How was choosing the actor? How was the process like? What was there some kind of like quality you looked for in the actors for your movie, or how was the process like?
Well, it was the most amazing adventure of my life, and still is. I've seen like 2,000 children, and we were looking everywhere. We were looking in orphanages and juveniles and all the kinds of families you can only imagine. And I realized that the only thing I'm looking for in them is actually a need to show to the world that there's something within them, that they are better than the current situation they found themselves in. And so by that, the group of 50 children emerged from those 2,000, and we rehearsed them for 7 months. 3 days a week. We really brought them from all different corners of Czech Republic and find a place to stay for them in Prague. And but every week we were rehearsing for the whole 3 days. But we didn't rehearse the film. Actually, we were rehearsing. We were learning how to stand still, how to talk to one another, how to touch one another, you know, and so this amazing group of very different children from very different worlds really became a group. And then we shot the film for over a year together. Then and now we're playing a new theater show together, and we stayed together. So we it became some kind of a really like almost alternative family model group, and they are amazing. Most of them are here at the festival.
Okay, it's good to hear. But as I can only imagine, you definitely had some kind of vision in your head when you started the process. When you're now looking back, how do you feel about the final product? Is it the same thing you had in your head, or something changed during the making of the film?
Well, the most important thing I've learned during the process of Americanka is not to have anything in my head.
Oh, a good point, good point. Then you have like no reason to disappoint or...
No, it's well, the final film is much better than I had ever dreamed
Okay.
it could be. But it's not because I made it up that way. It's because I remained open and let it happen. Mm-hmm. Actually, because those children brought so much courage and ideas and energy that I wouldn't ever be able to, do something like that alone. And that courage of those children, mostly from the orphanages as well, is something that also infused my work with the production designer on the visual style of the film. We really found a strength in ourselves to explore this potential much more than we thought about it in the first place.
Okay. So it definitely is a very powerful film. So what for you would be the main message you would like people to take with them after seeing Girl America? What is your main message with the film?
It would be great if they choose to live.
Easy.
It's because it's a pretty hard journey that this girl has ahead of her, but the power, the transformative power of hope, really changes everything and enables her to. Not to be destroyed by anything. I mean, even in terms of her nature, of her character, of what she aspires to, and ultimately, it's also about what do we need to do in life, not to depend on knowing anything about happy endings.
Okay. So, thank you for all these beautiful thoughts. Am I right? It's your first screening in the festival today and also the Q&A.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It is. So I'm only learning.
Yeah. So I can only wish you the best of luck for today's screening, and I hope people will be touched by the story you have brought to the festival. And I hope that all creative and good ideas will never stop coming to you.
Thank you.
And we will hear from you also. Maybe we can welcome you back here next year. Who knows?
Hopefully. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So thank you for coming in today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And for you viewers, thank you again for turning to PÖFF TV. And we will see you back exactly next time. Thank you.